with females, and I don't think it's me. I think it's more so the other females. I don't know what it is. Possibly, um, it could be envy or jealousy or insecurity. I'm not really sure. But like I was telling you earlier, I'm very complimenting to other women. I love my sisters unconditionally, but for some reason, it's like it's a stigma on me with them. I don't know why. I can't explain it, but it's just I tend to have more male friends than female friends, and I tend to get along with them better. So I mean, I don't know if that's my masculine side. Maybe that's my masculine side. I don't know, but I don't know. I would love to be able to have more friendships with females, but it just doesn't. It just doesn't go well. I don't know why.
Are you married?
No,
No,
not presently.
not currently. Okay, so that means that your options are all open to have that male friendship.
Well, even if I mean, I've had companions, and I still have, male friends. But there's boundaries. The male friends that I have, they respect my relationships when and if I'm in a relationship, and there's boundaries with that. Um, there's a respect level as well. Um, I make it very clear, to anyone that's my friend, and if they respect me, then they respect, my relationship and what it entails. And I mean, I'm not, and I'm like I said, I'm a private person, so I'm not like in the streets and hanging out and doing those sort of things. These are people that I've known prior to my companion or mate, and it may not be for everyone. Maybe because you're a Muslim, and I know certain things are not tolerated in that religion. So, but for me, I tend to have good relationships with males. Um, Suspicions, possibly, but I haven't had anybody overstep their boundaries to make me feel like, you're not my friend. But at the same time, again, it's about respect and boundaries. And like I said, again, it's not for everybody. You know what I mean? Some women don't know how to be friends with a male, and some males don't know how to be friends with the female. It's all about respect and respecting your relationship as well.
So, one question. Okay, you answer that. Can a married woman befriend a single man?
You say that again, please?
If you are married, can you befriend a single man?
If
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 you
I'm
are
married,
married, yes. Will your spouse allow you to have a male friend?
well, I have a problem with the allow. I do. I have a problem with the allow. Anybody that knows me, I'm a people person first. Um, and my intentions are genuine and sincere. Now, I can't speak for the male counterpart, but anybody who's my friend, like I said, I've known them for over 30, 40 years. People that I grew up with, people that I know. These are not newfound people, that I've come in contact with. And I don't tend to burn bridges. Um, Even, with my kids' fathers, I have good relationships with them. Um, Anybody that I've been with, um, there's no bad blood. I can, reach out and say, hey, I'm in a jam. I need X, Y, and Z. They come to my aid, because of the person that I am. I don't know, like I said, what their intentions is. I can't read their mind as to what their intentions are, if there's some, hidden agenda. But I trust you until I can't trust you, you know.
Why would any woman, and I'm not talking specifically to you, but why
hmm
would any woman, you think, that she will want to be friends with a man?
Why not? I mean, I feel like, God put us all here to love and care for one another, may it be a male or a female. Just because it's not your actual companion doesn't mean that you can't befriend them. Again, it's about respect. Now, if I met a man and he was the type of guy that felt like, well, you don't need to be friends with that person, because, I'm here now. Would I consider it? Maybe, maybe not. Because now you're telling me that you're taking my power away from me, saying, well, I'm your boyfriend now, I'm your husband now, so you can't be friends with anybody else but me.
No, but actually, it's not about anybody else, because I know a lot of women, and I have to include myself, that we have male friends prior to our marriage, to our relationships, that although we don't keep close, but they're there. But
Right.
some women tend to have that relationship with their best friends, and some of them dare to even go a step further to say that it's a platonic relationship when you already have a relationship with your established partner, husband, or whoever it is. So that's what I'm trying to get at, is
Well,
the allowing and taking away your freedom of choice at this point. I don't agree with that. But some men will say, well, I will not allow you to do this because you are married to me, and that will be disrespectful. I'm not taking your choice, but the fact is, it doesn't look good if, you are with your male friends and people know that we are married, how that will look. I mean, it's a lot of twists and turns with that. But how do you feel about that?
well, me being in a monogamous relationship with a man and on an intimate level is different from a platonic relationship with a friend or someone that I've known. Um, I'm not, hanging out with these people. These are people that I've known, and it's like, they'll be at the barbecue, they'll be at the family reunions and things like that. Like, I mean, like I said, I'm a very private person, and in my quality time, or when I'm in a relationship, if I'm in my relationship. When I'm with my guy, I'm with my guy. I'm not, seeking to be with any person or any other person outside of that. Um, that comes with the comfortability for my mate. If that's not something that he is willing to accept, and like I said, I'm not going to the club and meeting up with them and things like that. They'll call and wish me happy birthday, and, holidays and things like that. And like I said, in the event that, something comes up and, I'm in a jam or, or whatever. And of course, my mate is supposed to be that person if I'm in jam. But again, sometimes it's certain circumstances where you have to reach out to resources. And, with that being said, my boundaries are, I don't have anybody calling my home and we're meeting up, and those are suspicious things. I don't get down like that. My relationships, again, are my relationships. Like I said, my opinion and point of views may not be for everyone, and I'm sure it's not. But at the end of the day, you have choices. And I like my choices. I'm a people person. You can have a husband, and if you go out in the public, I'm smiling. I'm innocently flirtatious. That's the natural part of me. So if you're telling me, you're all I need, I don't want you seeing this person. I don't want this person calling you. I feel like you're taking my rights and my, myself. It's not being me. I'm not me anymore, because now I'm conforming to what you want. And that's not something that I'm willing to do. Me personally. I can't speak for any other woman, But that's me personally. I'm not going to conform to what this man, the guy that may be interested in me. And first of all, we have to get to know each other. I have to get to know you to see if you're the guy for me. That's why you have to date. You have to communicate information to see if you're compatible or not. Because if you're not willing to accept certain things about me, then you're not for me.
So let's turn this around. Could you accept your partner, your husband, having a female friend? And how will you feel if everything is turned around? Like you said, well, I don't like the fact that you are talking to this person. Oh, but she's my friend since we were kids, or she's my friend since we were in high school. I don't want her calling you. I don't want you texting her. So how do you think that works out then? What is good for the goose is good for the gander.
Well, yeah. Actually, I can handle that. Again, it all goes with boundaries. And I'm a woman, and I have intuition, and I know when things are not quite the way that they say that it is. So at that point, we have to have a conversation. And, I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I know when someone's lying. Your instinct, and we have, as women, we have that gut feeling, just like, I don't know why women, excuse me, say, well, I didn't know that he was cheating. Every woman knows when her man steps out on her. And if she says she doesn't, then she's lying.
Or she's very dense. Or she's very dense and lost and whatever else. Okay.
Right. She knows it, but she doesn't want to accept it. She don't want to believe it, and she feels like she can fix it. And I understand that. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to tell my mate or companion they can't have a female friend or someone that they grew up with, high school. Because, we have people that we grew up with from 5th grade, kindergarten, and they've been part of the family. And, and it's just hood love. It doesn't mean that it's anything other than that. But sometimes it is. But I'm speaking for me on my behalf. When I'm in my relationship, I'm in my relationship. I love my guy, and I hope that he would trust me enough to say, she loves me and I believe her. It's not for everybody, but if the tables were turned, I'm not going to tell him that he can't have a friend or anything like that, but I would definitely be in tune with it. I'll be in tune with it because, women can be a little, especially nowadays, women are just as bad as the men.
Yeah, they have, we no, not they. We have a tendency to be very territorial. And
I am.
yes, and for a fact, the husband or the partner will say, I'm going out with the guys, yeah, but who else is going to be there? Because nowadays you say guys and you walk in and it's like 3 women, 4 men, and these are the guys. The woman is included in the guy part, and in that part nobody tells you about. Oh, she's my friend, childhood friend, this and that, and you'd be like, okay, but you say guys, so what's going on? A lot of women, like you said, will tolerate it. Will probably, talk about boundaries and feel comfortable. Other women will not. And I believe it's not so much about jealousy. It's more about the fact that we know the nature of a woman, or we know the nature of a man, because we are men and we are women, and we know that sooner or later, if you don't create those boundaries, something is going to happen. And one of the questions that I have also was, it's okay to accept the fact that either party has a best friend, male or female, But would you go to that friend and air your dirty laundry to them?
Well, I'm an adult. I'm a grown woman. I don't play games. So it all depends on the person, you know. And sometimes it depends on your upbringing, you know. I don't believe in. I'm not a cheater. Um, like I said, when I'm with my mate, I'm with my mate, and you know, I hope and pray, you know, the person who I'm with, that they respect that. I've never had a problem before, but at the end of the day, it's about boundaries and respect and trusting, you know, that your companion, your lover, your friend, your boyfriend, your husband, he's going to trust that you're going to make the right decisions and choices um, in his face and behind his back. You know, I'm going to present. I represent my mate when I'm not around him. You know what I mean? So
Definitely,
it's
because
all about you respecting your relationship. And I am territorial, but I would never tell a person that they don't have the right to have friends, maybe male or female, because now I'm taking their rights and, you know, their humanness away from them making choices because of me. I don't want to infringe myself on anybody. You know what I mean? If you love me, you love me. If I love you, I love you. If we're going to be together, we're going to be together. At the end of the day, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Whether, you know, I'm there or not. It's about trusting that person, respecting each other, and just doing the right thing. It's not a lot of that today, but that's what it boils down to. Because, you know, like I said, today the women are just as bad as the men. I mean, you have
definitely.
women that will just, they make a booty call too. I'm serious.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I mean, it's like equal opportunity. That's what it's called.
Yes.
Equal
Yeah.
opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, and now we've always shared our men, but we're sharing them even more now. I don't know the percentage, but I'm sure it's up a little bit. The percentage is a little higher than it was like maybe 15, 20 years ago.
What you mean by sharing?
Um, Sharing our men, like you can roll over, you can just finish making love to your husband or your mate or what have you, and it can be great. And then in the next, you know, he's got his back turned and you go into the bathroom, he's in the DM with somebody else, or, you know, it's a lot of foolishness going on.
And
There's not a lot of honesty today.
and how do we try to work that out? I mean,
Well,
I want to say, okay, so going from having male and female friends from, you know, friends from the opposite sex, and to creating a relationship where you don't have to tell your mate, your partner, your husband or wife, you cannot do this or you cannot have these friends. How can we work that out without taking away that power, like you said, or that, you know, choice of that person, you know, bringing out that honesty and trying to keep it real with them?
it's really nothing you can do about it. You have to let people be who they authentically are. You know, if somebody's going to cheat on you, they're going to cheat on you. If somebody's going to love you, they're going to love you. There's no way to getting around that because the eye is constantly moving. Men are naturally attracted to beautiful women. Women are naturally attracted to handsome, you know, guys. So, you know, and it's no getting around that. I mean, you can be in love with somebody today and be out of love with them tomorrow.
And why do you
So,
think that happens?
I'm sorry?
Why do you think that happens?
Because, I mean, you know, I feel bad for men, actually. because they have. I really do. I mean, I feel sad for them. I really feel bad and sad for them because they have so many options now. You know, and then the way that the women are projecting themselves. Not all women, but the way that women are projecting themselves today. They're showing everything down to the bare bush. They're very cocky with their femininity, and they don't care who knows it. They will flirt with your men in your face. Some of them, yeah.
Oh no! Oh no!
They will. I've seen it.
I understand, but oh no, it's not. No. It's
bad.
Impossible.
It's very possible.
No, I'm saying that something like that could happen in
Yes.
front of me. No,
You probably wouldn't like it, but yeah, they don't care anymore. We're living in a society now where there's so much disrespect. Even men. You and your husband can be together and say you wasn't a Muslim, you were just a regular female that wore regular clothes, and if your woman or your wife, girlfriend, if she's shapely and she has a big butt and she's full figured and whatever, and she's a nice looking woman, they're gawking at her. They turn around and so there's something about, I'm old school, so there's something about back in the day, having an admiration for a woman. You can admire a woman without lusting. And we don't have that anymore. Everything is, like I said, they leave nothing to the imagination.
Exactly. Everything has been taken to the forefront. I mean, from TV, movies, and everything else. Everything is so explicit that there's no way you can get around it. And even our children, one way or the other, they continue to be exposed because the programs are getting so bold right now. Even the children programs are getting so bold that they have to either watch the program or you watch the program with them and either fast forward or turn it off or something because you don't know what is next. But at the same time, the schools, they have taken another approach also into teaching children certain things that back in the day, like you said, it will not be even feasible. It will not even be thought about, teaching something like this to them. And once you start giving your young daughters and your young sons all this kind of music and propaganda, I'm not going to say music in itself, but propaganda coming in to them, this is what we see. This is the end result of it. That our parents try their best to do what they can with what they have. Yes, I do understand. But still, our children spend a majority of the time in school. Then they come home. I don't know who should follow up with whom, but that should be done in order to, maintain that respect and maintain a way of them, I guess, loving themselves and knowing that regardless of what they look like and how people sees them, they're perfect. They're fine in their own way. And looking at the next person, how they dress and how they look, doesn't mean that I have to do the same thing. And that rolls into a young woman dressing the way that she's dressing. And I'm going to say this, full disclosure, a woman can be walking down the street and she shouldn't be touched, not even with the petal of a rose. So it doesn't matter how she dressed and how much you're drooling over this woman. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't touch her. You can say whatever you want to say, but you shouldn't touch her. Oh, that be a reason why you're going to touch a woman in any kind of way. But at the same time, we should comfort ourselves that being a woman is such an honor because we are giving so much in our plate. We are moms, we are daughters, we are aunties, we are grandmas. Okay, we are providers, we are teachers, we are sons' first love, our daughters' examples. So,
Mm-hmm.
all this from having male and female friends, from the opposite sex friends in that matter, all the way down to the way we dress, how our husbands and how our partners look at them, and the lust and the change in behavior, and how can we trust each other when society in itself pushes us to be certain way. And it's something that you cannot look away. It's something that is right there in front of your face, and people is like, oh no, I don't think that's true. We can always choose. Yes, we can always choose to stay in the house 24/7, 365, and don't even look out the window. But we have to deal with this every day. And the reality is that from the friendship to going outside with your husband, your friends, and whatever else, you have to consider the consequences of everything that you do.
Well, it starts at home, and a lot is so bad. We don't have parents anymore. We just have people with kids. And a lot of these kids are coming from broken homes, where there's no father or no mother, or the grandmother's raising them, or the auntie's raising them, or they're in foster care, and blah, blah, blah. And kids are not being taught. They're not being taught. And when you're not being, my grandma and them used to say, you got to learn them. They're not being taught today. And I think we spoke about this earlier.
Yes, we did.
And, it starts at home. And we have to be able to set the standard for what it's supposed to look like versus what it looks like. Because what it looks like is not what it should look like. So what you have are brokenness. You have, we speak about social media. Look at social media. You have the mothers up there twerking and jerking with their daughters, being real explicit. And hey, you could do whatever you like. That's your business. But it affects the whole circle. What you do in your household, it spills over into my household, because my child is a part of the society as well. And if the bulk of the society is all misconstrued, then you're going to have good kids which are going to be bullied or made fun of, and then they're going to feel like, okay, well, I don't want to be bullied or made fun of, so now I have to conform and be a part of this so I won't be bullied or targeted. And that's not a good thing either, because now you have a society of children and adults that are switching roles. If you think about it, you have some of these kids out here more mature than the adults.
Sir, that's so true. That is so true.
You have young girls out here that project themselves as young ladies. All of the kids are not bad, but the majority of them are. And it's horrible, because they don't have any respect for me, you, or grandma or grandpa or any of those people. I mean, they speak very vulgar. They don't care if you hear it. There was a time where, you watched your tongue. You knew your place. These kids don't know their place. These young girls, they'll fight you. They'll fight me. I try to avoid them. I really do. I try to avoid them. And I have a fear of them, not because I think that they would do something to me, It's the fact of what I would do to them. Because I'm not going to let a kid, come up and just totally annihilate me. Just come all and just full-fledged, just come and just beat me up. Are you kidding me? I saw this with my own eyes. I seen a young girl attack another lady. She was a lesbian. And she was an older lady. But she was more on the dyke side, like a boy. So I guess she felt like, and she was a small girl, small lady.
Mm.
And I'm looking and I'm like, is she fighting her? And all the lady kept saying, I'm old enough to be your mother.
Wow.
And she was like, I don't give a F. And she commenced to fighting her. And I'm just, for the life of me, I'm like, are you kidding me?
And this goes back to taking away choices, taking away the opportunity for people to grow and to make their own decisions. And this is going to be another topic that we're going to have to expand a little bit more. We're running out of time. But we started with a topic about male and female friendships. And we also continue, into the female aspect of how we play a part in this situation and the other people relationships, especially when it comes to men being confronted by women that are a little bit more desperate than the others. I'm going to say it like that because it's true. If you have to go and show yourself in certain way to any man, married or not married, unmarried or whatever, that means that you are insecure, that you don't know what you want, and that you may be a little bit ignorant of the fact that you have more value than what you're giving, what you're showing to other people.
Now remember what we just said? It starts at home, because if your mother and grandmother is twerking and dropping it
exactly.
Like
but I'm not saying the young people in itself is a fault. I am saying that we need, to reassure. In a way, we need to reassure these men and young men and women that they're worth it. Okay, I understand that the parents, been through and they're going through something, or they've been through something and they haven't been treated in a way for them to give back to their children. I understand that very well. But at the same time, we have to understand that not only the parents are to be blamed, but we have a media and we have a government and we have everything else, that goes with it. Because the parents are not all at fault. We spoke also about opportunities being given. And we spoke about this, and like I said, this is another program. We spoke about these opportunities being given and not taken. So we are not going to blame, anybody. We are just blaming the situation. What happened to get there is something that we have to learn how to resolve, how to work our way in order to make it better for the new generation. See, people look at us not as a way of learning, but an obsolete kind of situation and person and matters. And that's a problem. We are obsolete. After 40, after 45, we no longer are worth of people's attention and ears.
Oh, I am.
Well, I am also. But the fact of the matter is that we have to go through a lot. And that's why the podcast and magazine was created, because women over 40, we have to fight a little bit harder to get what we need and what we want at this age. We are not able to say, okay, I can start something right now and I will have everybody else, help me. I come out of prison, I don't have nothing. I'm 40, 45 years old, 50 years old. Where do I stand? I'm divorcing after 40 years of marriage. What do I do? Okay, I want to start a business at 45, 50 years old. But you notice that everything else that is going on is geared towards people younger than you. So the perspective that I'm putting here in this podcast and also the magazine coming out is for women over 40 that are in this transition that we call life, in a transition where we are seen as somebody who has no value.
Well, I don't know. I have to straddle the fence on that because
we're gonna get to that in the next podcast. We're gonna discuss that and think about it. Yes, and think about it. And
I gotta do I got a lot of work to do with you.
Yes, but the thing is, if you do research and you go in. Well, this is our podcast for the day. Okay, I will be back talking about other subjects, but for the evening, this is what we have for you. Our male and female can be friends, and we went over and we talked about other things. And surely enough, talking about women over 40 and what they want to do and what they need and everything else, it's going to come. It's going to come next week just for you. And this is your host, Khadija, your host of For Women Like Us.